if you put your feet on the ground this morning, God helped that. God did that. You cannot get up in the morning without God in your life, even as an unbeliever. Too many people in today's world think they did it on their own. Nobody does anything on their own. It's all God. It's all God. Psalms 55:22. I think I marked it. If I can find it now. I wrote it down wrong. Never mind. Oh, there it is. Cast your burdens upon the Lord, and He will sustain you. He will never allow the righteous to be shaken. I'm reading that verse because I'm not shaken. I know God's got a plan. I wish I could figure it out. I'll just be honest. I wish I knew what that plan was. But He put me here 10 years ago after my parents praying when I was a baby that I'd grow up and be a preacher. And He put me here. Now, am I always right? No. Do I do things wrong? Yes. But God put me here for a reason. Not maybe. I know God knew this was coming before it happened. So I pray that my faith, my stand, everything that I do will exemplify God in a way that I've never done in my life, and it will turn people toward Christ. That's my prayer. Because I am casting all my burdens on Him. I am depending on Him for everything. I do depend on Him to put my feet on the ground, to let me get through the day. I told Ron this morning, I told him 2 days this week. I really worked less than 2 days this week. I wasn't able. But you know what? I called people and I talked to people. And I always ended with, God's in control. God is in control of our lives. We need to understand that and lean on that and believe that. The word cast in the Scripture, it actually means to throw. Casting means you throw all of your burdens, all your cares, everything that's bothering you, you need to throw them to God. In other words, get rid of them and let Him have them. And when you throw it, you can't catch it back, right? Unless you throw it up in the air. Don't do that. Don't throw it up in the air. Throw it away. Give it to God. If you give it to God, He will sustain you. But we have to learn to give it to God. Christians are to cast all their discontents, their fears, their discouragement, their suffering to the Lord, and to trust Him for the outcome. Don't give it to Him and then try to take it back. That's what many of us do. That's what I have done. I give it to Him and I take it back. You know what that does? It causes me to mess up. It causes me to sin, not only because I took it back, but because I'm trying to do it on my own. Give it to God and let Him keep it. Trusting for the outcome. Knowing what He is knowing what He is allowing in your life is for His purpose. And I wrote a verse that I learned 50 years ago. Romans 8:28. All things work together for good to those that love the Lord and are called according to His purpose. All, as John used to say, all means all. The good and the bad work together for good. If you don't believe me, look at the Old Testament people in the Bible that did not have a perfect life. They had a messed up, and I guess I can say it in this congregation, a messed up, screwed up life. They made mistake after mistake after mistake. And who are they? They are the heroes of the faith in Hebrews chapter 11. You can be that hero of faith if you trust God in everything. In everything, give thanks. Submission, humility, and trust. Submit to God. Have humility about it, and trust Him. Trust is actually the third attitude necessary for a victorious life. Several years ago, I preached a series of messages on how to have a victorious life. And over and over and over in those verses, I said, trust God in everything. Trust Him in everything. That's how you have a victorious life. A victorious life is Christian living. Cast and trust can be interchanged. That word, cast and trust word, can be interchanged because you have to give it to Him, and to give it to Him, you're trusting Him. You have to give Him your problems, not just your sicknesses, but things that keep dragging you down, things that drag us all down. You can give it to God. Politics. It's not in my notes. But politics drag us down. Sam says she don't watch them, okay? So that doesn't drag her down, but there's other things that drag you down in there, Sam. See, anything that upsets you, that causes you to get angry, to take your eyes off God, that's an anxiety. That's taking your eyes off God. And if it aggravates you, you've just taken your eyes off God. So quit doing the things that will take your eyes off God. Trusting. A victorious life is Christian living. Cast and trust is interchangeable. Trust in the Lord with all things. Lean not on thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. And it doesn't say some things, John. It says all things. In all things. I've given this to God, okay? I keep getting different reports. My only anxiety comes when I say I could die before I get a doctor's appointment. And I could. Because they've told me what's wrong with me will lead to early death. I'm not scared. I know where I'm going. I hope you know where you're going. Because if you don't, let us show you. Cast all your cares on Him, for He cares for you. My kids, I made my kids mad at me this week because of my attitude. It wasn't a bad attitude. I sent out a post, and I don't remember exactly what the post said, but it was something about the fact that I could die before the doctors see me. And my kids went ballistic on me. I wasn't being ugly. I was just stating facts. But I put at the end of that post, God is in control. God knows everything. He knows what I need, He knows what I want, and He knows where I'm going. That's my message. Deb, you're going to love that one. It's 5 till. Okay? Huh? Just pray that I get better, but pray that I don't get my wind back. How's that? Is that fair enough? Because I can't preach if I don't have wind. I'm hurting right now. God is in control. We have to trust Him totally, 100% in everything we say, in everything we do. And the only way we can do it is living for Him on a daily basis.